Hello, my name is Mike Pinto, the principal of James Cole Elementary School. For those of you who know me and have students who are returning, welcome back. I hope you are having a great summer. For those of you who are new to Cole, my name is Mike Pinto. This is my 16th year as a principal of James Cole Elementary School, a gem, a hidden gem in the southeast portion of Tippecanoe County. You are in for an amazing experience this year. It will be different this year, and I wanted to kind of go through some things with you all today because there's just a lot of changes. I am intentionally not putting a lot of information out to everyone in writing because things honestly change every day. And so I'm going to wait till a little bit further before I get some more detail. But I'm going to talk through some things today with you. And I want you to understand a couple things. I am a phone call or an email away. Call the school, leave me a voicemail, send me an email, ask questions, ask. I would rather have 100 questions um, asked than 100 questions worried about. This is not the time to worry. This is the time to call and to ask, and I will give you the honest, straight, real time answer. And there will be times when I have to say I don't know, and part of that is because you may have asked a question that we hadn't thought of, and that actually helps us become better and be more prepared for the opening of school. And sometimes it's because we haven't made a final decision on that yet. And so bear with me on that and patience with that as well, because it's kind of scary to think the principals know the answers, but honestly, things do change. Speaking of change, you received an email, I hope, yesterday from Dr. Hamback that the start of school has been pushed back to Thursday, August 20th. It was originally scheduled to open on Tuesday, August 11th, but the extra time is needed, honestly, for us to be prepared and to do the best we can in terms of the opening of school and being prepared for you and honestly, a lot of the changes that are coming into place. Registration is open. We are down to only 86 people who have not registered. If you have not registered, please do not be the last to register. There's no prize for being last. Actually, you know, in this pandemic time, people say, "What can I do to help?" Help us by getting registered. If you don't remember your parent portal, log in, call the school. We'll help you. This is all online. We are trying very hard to get these things done because when we know who's coming and when we know which option you're choosing, it helps us be able to plan. And so my goal is Monday morning, we're all registered. So when you get this email, that's your little reminder, the pebble in your shoe to get your child registered for school so that we know what we're doing. The virtual option was also changed yesterday a little bit. It was the deadline to register was extended until next Wednesday, which is July 29th, and that allows you to make a decision. Honestly, there were some changes to the extracurricular activities that they're now going to be allowed uh, to participate if you do the virtual middle school and high school. Honestly, we don't really have extracurricular activities that are school related at the elementary level, so it doesn't really apply to us. But most of our Cole Cubs are choosing the in school, and so we're excited to see you. We're looking forward to that. I want to spend some time today talking about those pieces, and I'm going to put some more information in writing in a way that makes sense. But honestly, things just change so quickly that I think sometimes it's harder to communicate and then have to re-communicate. So I'm just going to go through some things that we know for sure. We already talked about the start of school. Hey, a great offering for you. The Tippecanoe School Corporation is providing school supplies for all the elementary students. There were some school supplies that were um, all the school supply lists were kind of combined in the Tiffany School Corporation, and commonalities were looked for. And there are going to be boxes for each child arrive at school. If you choose the virtual, yes, you will get a box of school supplies. Don't worry, we will make sure that there's going to be a pickup time for that, for you to get your books and your technology and your school supplies. But how wonderful is that? That's a blessing. I know while it's fun to go and shop for school supplies, honestly, the ability to not have to navigate a big box store, and honestly, also the extra income that comes with um, the cost to get the school supplies. We hope in TSC is an offering to you as families. So your school supplies will be waiting for your child. No worry about that. It's going to be different this year. different but good. That's kind of one of those pieces where some common threads this year, different but still good, and we're going to do this together. So we're going to do this together. The big first difference is we're not having open houses. We are trying very hard to have our school environment safe, clean, and to do that, we are limiting access in a major way. And I'm going to talk about that in a second. But the first piece is there's going to be no open house. In the past, we've had the couple days before school come, drop it off, meet the teacher. We had parent nights. We're not doing that. Even kindergarten, we're not. We're going to do something different for kindergarten. August 5th, we're going to have a meet the teacher outside experience. It's going to be fun, a little scavenger hunt and meet your teachers. And that's going to be from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. Kindergarten parents, I will send you a separate email with all the information. We are honestly working on it right now. But we will do other things for you, moms and dads. Don't worry. Your teachers will be sharing information. They will be creating videos. They will offer you information. Kindergarten parents, we are going to do a virtual tour of the school. I have been promising that for a long time, but honestly, they are literally applying wax in the lobby right now. I am locked in my office. The only way I can get to the library is to go outside and walk around, which doesn't hurt me at all. But we're not ready for that yet. So I'm trying to get some things done along those lines. So just know there will be no open house. The first day of school will be the first day of school. But don't worry, there won't be any school supplies to bring with you because they're already here. How cool is that? Technology. When you register, please pay attention to the information sheet about technology. We have some virtual days this year that are going to be offered. I think it's August 26th, September 4th, and September 21st this year. And those are going to be where students will be home and we will be doing lessons remotely. Quite honestly, that is a couple things, benefits a couple things. First of all, um, we really had to pivot last year when we were closed, and we're hoping that we can get skills in the hands of children and parents so that if we ever have to go this way again, we don't know what the future holds, but we want the experience to look different. It will be different than it was in March, April, and May. And so we're going to make sure that we spend the first several weeks of school making sure a child is proficient with the technology, can log on, can use Google Classroom, can access the iPads in kindergarten and first grade, and the Chromebooks in grades 2 through 5. But you have a chance to check a box that says, when we have a remote day, I would like technology to go home with my child. Now that is not going to go home every night, just on those days that we do this, but that will allow you to have devices at home. One of the pieces of feedback we received from you all was we did the best we could with what we had where we were, but we only had one computer at home that worked. Well, now if you check the box, if you're a kindergarten or first grade parent, your child can bring home the iPad for those days. If a second through fifth, they can bring home a Chromebook with a case and come back. Now, honestly, this is a great offering. It's also a situation where you are responsible for that, the care of that, to make sure that it isn't damaged or broken or lost. But it will come back, and it will only go home when we have remote days. But if we have a situation like what arose in March, and we do have to go to a short period of time where we are closed as a school, or honestly, in some situations, if we have a COVID breakout and we have to quarantine a classroom, we have the ability to do to do class virtually and help. So know that that's out there, and please know that that's an exciting offering. Um, we're going to be wearing masks this year. I've got my Cole Cobb mask here. I bought this at the Athlete, and it looks awesome. It's groovy, but I also want you to know that this is kind of the new fashion statement. So, we're all about shoes. We're all about, in some cases, I have lots of ties. I'm working on my mask game. So my wife, she is a amazing seamstress. She sews like crazy. She's made me some masks, and some of these you've seen before because um, this was something we had in the spring as well. But um, that's a fun one. It's got little candies on it. So the the expectation in TSC is it's going to be required kindergarten through 12th grade um, to be in school. Now, we're going to have moments and times throughout the day where we're going to have masks down. If we can social distance, and the teachers are working really hard to set up their classrooms in a way that we will have masks on, and then if we can social distance, we can take those down because mask fatigue is a real thing. But we need to prepare our students for the fact that they will be wearing masks for extended periods of time. We are using a term called movement means masks. Anytime we move, we have a mask on. So if we're in the hallway, we're masked. If we're in the classroom and we're in a mask-free zone, if we get up from that mask-free zone, we have to also wear a mask. And moving down the road on a school bus, you must wear a mask. And so that is the executive order from the governor. And that's one of those pieces that we're just going to do the best we can. And it's different, but just know we will have times when that won't happen. Obviously, we can't eat lunch in a mask. So we're zigzagging lunch in terms of how we're seating. I'm going to talk about that in a second. And outside at recess, we'll have our masks taken outside because we need to have them when we go in and go out of the building. But when you're outside at recess, we're going to be able to have our masks off as well. So it won't be all the time, but it will be a lot of the time. So just in your head, think mask. And then the teachers are understanding we're going to try to do mask breaks. We also have an amazing large acreage of land. We have a beautiful outdoor education center. We're going to also take advantage of being outside. And if we can spread outside and still learn and social distance, the appropriate amount, we can have masks off as well. Now, that's not going to obviously happen in November and December, but for right now, we're going to accommodate the best we can. But just realize it's going to be a mask situation. Um, the building's going to be closed this year. There will be no visitors. There'll be no guest speakers for the first 9 weeks for sure. No visitors. Moms and dads and grandmas and grandpas, you can't come for lunch. Um, if you come to the school, we're going to have you come in through the little vestibule area, and we're going to talk to you through the window. And if you do have to enter the office, you have to have a mask on. But we're really not letting anyone into the building at all. And that means that our parent pickup and our morning procedures are changing. In the morning, we will have our students uh, who are driven by their mom and dad dropped off on the sidewalk at 8:50. We are not opening the doors at 8:45. We are waiting till the bell rings at 8:50, and with the buses. And in the evening, if you're a parent pickup, we're going to call parent pickups down. They're going to sit socially distanced in the lobby, and we will have you kind of like a to go. You're going to come to the door and we're going to call out your name and your child will go, but we will not have you in the building. So it's not because we don't love you, because we do, but we just trying to be safe. And that's something we're doing across the district. We don't have space for a parent pickup line. I know that was asked and I appreciate that. So here's what I'm asking you as moms and dads. You always say, what can I do? What you can do is stand outside. Don't come too early. Park in the parking lot and then gather your child and social distance outside when you wait. When it's your turn to get your child, walk your child to the car, and then leave so that we can at 3:30 we can exit. But please be on time. You come at 3:35 or 3:40, it really puts us in a bad spot. If you're parent pickup, your window is 3:20 to 3:30 because at 3:30 the bell rings. In the morning, we're going to get off the buses, and kindergarten and first grade are going to walk to their left down the big sidewalk around the primary playground and go in those doors, which is door 6. Second, third, and also breakfast eaters are going to come in the door. They're going to go in the lobby, and fourth and fifth are going to come in the door or come out of the buses, turn right, walk on the sidewalk past the flagpole, around the garage, and enter door 5 by the west playground. So we're going to uh, limit the amount of congestion we have in the morning, and we're going to do the same thing when we reverse. We're going to exit out those doors as well at the end of the day, so that we don't have congestion and we can try to keep kids spaced apart. Again, we're doing the best we can with what we have. Um, Lunch is going to look different this year, and so is breakfast. Breakfast will still be served. We're going to eat in the cafeteria. We have created 2 zones for eating. The lobby will be used, and also the cafeteria. When students come in off the bus, they will come and they will sit down in the cafeteria at a spot, and they will grab their They will be sent by an instructional assistant or a staff member to go through the line. There are only 4 students allowed socially distanced in line, so we're going to try to control that. Lunch or breakfast will be already bagged for you. There will be no hot items. There'll be like a cereal bar and some cheese maybe or yogurt and a milk, and then you go sit down, you eat, and we go to class. Uh, Lunch will be kind of the same thing. Kindergarten, first and second grade, there will be chairs assigned seats in the cafeteria. Third, fourth, and fifth, we will set up a mini cafeteria in the lobby that will be set up and torn down every day, and we will have assigned seats. We're going to sit by class because what we learned from the governor's press conference earlier this week is the importance of contact tracing. And if we had a situation where a child, there was an outbreak, if we can kind of contain who the exposure was, we can also limit the harmful effects, and B, the amount of stress that comes with trying to figure out exposure, and also making sure that as parents we have the best information we have as well. So we will have assigned seats at lunch. Lunch will be totally like a to-go box. It will be a hot lunch or it will be a cold lunch. Some days the cold lunch will be a sandwich. Some days the cold lunch will be a salad. But your child will go through the line. They'll pick one of the choices, and then they will go sit back down, and we'll send more kids up. You can still bring your lunch. I would ask you, parents, if there's any way possible that you go to the store and you get disposable lunch boxes, um, or so lunch bags. So go buy those brown paper bags. I know it's fun to have your own lunch box and all that, but let's think about um, exposure. Let's think about things that your child will have to navigate and touch, and so just try to make things as simple as possible if you can. If there's any way you can do that, do that. Maybe you can't because your child brings a thermos. I understand. That's fine. But again, if you can, we can just throw it away. So everything will be thrown away. There will not be trays. There will not be silverware, and we will again try to limit that amount of time. So then the cafeteria and the lobby will be put away, folded up tables. I think we have 6 tables and several um, long tables as well that are zigzagged, and we'll put it away at the after lunch, and then we'll have a normal school again. And again, the best we can with what we have, but we're trying really hard as well not to have to eat in the classrooms. And but your child will be sitting by group by his or her class. And so again, when we go to recess, we're going to have zones, and those zones are rotated. Again, this is for the contact tracing possibility. And so your child's class will play together outside in different zones. We're working on what that looks like. I've been in touch with the instructional assistants who are outside at recess, and we're kind of brainstorming what that could look like. But we're going to rotate those so that your child will have great experiences every day. But we're also again working on zones that will allow your child to be safe. And if there is an outbreak, we could kind of say that this child was contained with these students, so that we're not looking at the entire school, the entire grade, or 2 grades with exposure. So again, learning a lot as we go, and again doing the best we can. Um, no field trips this year. I apologize for that. Not at least for the first 9 weeks, not for the whole year. We're going to take a breath for the first 9 weeks. We're not going to do school pictures the first 9 weeks. We're going to wait till October 20th. We're not going to do field trips the first 9 weeks. We are not doing any student council fundraisers the first 9 weeks. Now they may have some spirit days and those types of things, but we are trying very hard to limit that as well. Um, Classrooms are set up the best we can. We're trying to spread out. We're trying to create social distance spaces. We're trying to make it so that the experience, because again, our mission is, help students learn, grow kind citizens, and keep children safe. And so we want to make sure that we have the best learning environment we can while also keeping your child safe. Let's see what else are on my list. Um, One of the things the TSC has also provided for us are sanitizing stations that will be located throughout the school. We are really going to focus on hand hygiene, because one of the things that we also know is that we can't limit, we can do the best we can with limiting touches. But just like when you go out to the grocery store and you get in your car and you sanitize your hands, or you sanitize the cart before you take it, Um, when we are in situations, we go to specials, we come back, we sanitize our hands. My light just went out. And so, those are things that we can do. Like when we're back on, that we can do as well to try to make sure that we keep your child safe, but also teach them good habits. So we're going to really work on hand hygiene, washing your hands the right way, 20 seconds with warm soapy water. We're going to talk a lot about the three W's: wear a mask, wash your hands, and watch your distance. So you can help us with that as well. Um, Snacks and birthdays. We will only be able to accept individually wrapped snacks from a manufacturer. So that means we can't send in a bunch of grapes. We can't send in grapes that are, plucked and put in Ziploc baggies. We can't send in a pan of brownies. Um, so for snacks, your teacher will guide you on what that will look like, but they have to be manufacturally, individually wrapped. Birthday treats. We're trying really hard, and I really would love for you to try to be creative with non food birthday treats if you want to celebrate your child's birthday. Something that can be passed out and taken home and enjoyed. But if you choose to send food, it will have to be in a manufactured, individually wrapped package. So that means 26 cupcakes can't come in. We're not going to be able to accept them and pass them out. Also, don't go buy 26 individually um, packed cupcakes from the grocery store. Something that you buy that's wrapped and manufactured, it's a safety issue. But honestly, we have some food allergies. So again, if there's any way you can celebrate your child's birthday in a non-food way, that would really be a big help. And sometimes your teachers will provide an opportunity for the child to social distance and eat that snack. Sometimes that snack just may go home. Again, we want to celebrate your child's birthday. They will still get a chance to come and get a gumball from the gumball machine and get a birthday card from me, but we need to also to honor that new change. And I think that's a change that is probably not going to go away. And so celebrate the homemade at home, but at school we have to have individually wrapped as well. And I appreciate your help with that. Safe Harbor is the before and after school provider. They will be here from 7 a.m. till we dismiss at 8:50. Those children will be dismissed from the cafeteria. At the same time, the bell rings, so they will not be in contact with students who come in the door from the buses because they will be out the door before then. And they are here after school from 3:30 to 6 o'clock. Their information is available online, or you can look up Safe Harbor and speak with Ashley Justice. She will help you. And again, we have set the cafeteria up in a way that there will be you know, it, individual seats assigned that are allowed to be seated and not seated in, and those children will have again assigned spots so that we can again limit if we have to contact trace. But we saw that option provided, and they're working really hard with us to try to make this happen. Um, PTO is going to be different this year. We are going to have uh, meetings virtually. We are also not having a fundraiser to start the school year. We were left with an amazing, the officers that just went off the board put us in a really good spot. So we're financially healthy right now. And so what we're doing again, we know how this pandemic has hurt all of you financially, and it has all been a struggle. So we're not going to do a cookie dough sale to start the year. Um, we we cannot have parents in and out to pick up the cookie dough. It's kind of a logistical nightmare, so we're not going to do that. And we're not going to have events that are PTO after school um, at this point because we really are not going to have a lot of access to the school. So that may change after the first 9 weeks, but it might not. And that's okay because your child is still going to have a great opportunity to have a great school year and a great education, but we're going to, again, do the best we can with what we have. Again, people have asked, what can I do? The PTO has helped us. There are costs that go with opening school this new way, And while TSC has provided a lot of help for us, there's still more help needed. So, for example, sit dots were purchased. That allows uh, teachers to assign kids to spots around the room to sit, to spread them out so they're not all over each other. You know, we've purchased those. We're having some families help with some needs in the classroom, and so if you would like to help, one of the ways you could do is to send a check to the school, attention PTO, and just put PTO donation on it. And that will go into the coffers. It will help with the needs that arise and allow us to do some of the traditions that we hope to do as well. So that's something you can do if you choose to. Just send us a check. I'll make sure it gets to the officers as well. That's a lot, okay? And so if there are questions that come from this, please email me mpinto at tsc.k12.in.us. Call me 765-523-2141. I want to reiterate a couple things. Number one, we're going to reopen school and we're going to do the best we can this year, and we're going to do this together. We look forward to seeing your child. We look forward to seeing you. We look forward to making great memories. And we look forward to um, school is the people, and having that experience and that opportunity to be with your child is really what is motivating all of us to do the best we can. I just ask for your patience and understanding and know that there are lots of moving pieces to this, and more information will come. I will try to be more intentional in terms of from now until the start of school, August 20th, with some information. But I'm also trying to give them to you in digestible bites and also in a way that we know everything I've talked about is pretty solid. It's probably not going to change in terms of how we do things about opening and starting school and dismissal and arrival and lunches and all those things. We've kind of worked out the kinks. And again, the teachers really have not had a lot of summer break because they've been on Google Meets with me and taking text and meeting with me and trying to figure this all out. So just know that, send a little love your teacher's way when school starts. A handwritten note goes a long way. Some act of kindness their way. Just know that we're excited to have your child back. We're excited to be in school, and as your principal, I am very excited as well because this is what I do. I'm married to an educator. She's excited to be back. And that's what we do. And so we missed your child the last 9 weeks. I know you missed us as well. But call me and ask. There are no dumb questions. As I said when we started this, I would rather have you call than worry. There's enough anxiety, my Lord. Call. I'll talk you through it. You may actually help me with something that we hadn't thought of. And if that's the case, that will help everyone because if you thought of it, somebody else did as well. And again, it's going to be different, but it's going to be good. I just put a post out on the Cole Facebook page, which, by the way, if you don't follow, it's good stuff in there. The 4-H fair is just finalizing. And you know what was different? There were masks in the show ring. The exhibits were some of them were done virtually. The crowds were limited. I didn't go. I haven't been. I've been to the fair the last 15 years at Tippecanoe County as a principal here. I love the fair. There's so many cool clubs, but they really asked for it to be parents only, and we have to honor those pieces and we have to respect the people doing it. And guess what? The fair happened. There were no lemon shake-ups. There were no elephant ears, but there were children out there learning. And so it will be different for us this year in school, but your child will be in school. They will be with friends. They will be with a loving staff, and they will learn. And so, a shout out to them, a shout out to the bus drivers, a shout out to the custodians, and to everyone who's making this happen. And moms and dads, thank you, thank you, thank you for giving us the greatest gift. We come to school every day at Cole Elementary. We don't come to work, and I am so grateful for that. But please ask. If there's anything I can do, I am only a phone call away. My name is Michael Pinto. I am the proud principal of James Cole Elementary School, and we are reopening this school this year together. It will be different, but it still will be good. Again, thank you for taking the time to listen to this lengthy video. ask if I can help you. I'm here. Have a great day.